All right, in this exercise, I'm going to work on desensitizing Atlas's poll. So I'm just kind of petting on his forehead here, and he's a little worried. He's got his neck up a little higher than I'd like, and there he's really kind of avoiding it. So I'm not going to chase him. I'm just going to keep my hand there, and then when he touches my hand on his own, I'll click right there, and then I'll feed him. So the biggest mistake you don't want to do is chase him. So as soon as he gets tight and tense, I'm just going to stop moving, and I'm going to wait until he targets my hand. So I'm just going to hold it here. There, he touches it again. I'll click and feed. So Atlas already knows how to target. He can target my hand and he'll follow it around. And he targets like the whip and things like that. So if your horse doesn't know how to target, I would work on that first. There's other videos of me teaching Atlas and other horses how to do that. So I'm not going to really talk about that in this video, but yes, do that first. So I'm just going to hold it, and then I'm just going to wait. And then this really gives the horse the power to do it on his own. So first of all, he knows I'm not going to chase him, so he's more at ease in that way. And then he knows that I'm not going to, or that I see him. So I'm understanding him. I'm paying attention. They notice when you're paying attention and when you're not. So those two things are really helpful when you're training. So, because if I went to chase him, he would just be scared and like not quite understand. He would think I'm more of a predator, and then he wouldn't want to trust me as much. So versus me just waiting and getting him through it, he can choose on his own to touch me if he'd like. So here I've worked on that a few times, and then I'm just gonna kind of pet on him, brush his hair. I'm just like untangling his mane a little bit. So I'm not gonna do anything crazy. After a few good times of him targeting my hand, I'll just kind of work on petting him so he's not just thinking about doing that, because it does worry him a little bit. Even just touching his neck there, he wants to raise his head up a little bit. So I'm not going to work on it a whole lot. This was the first session where I really noticed that. So I'm going to just kind of show this. So we worked on it a little bit, and then I am just going to pet him on the neck here. We hang out. I reward him for petting. And then this is the second session, a different day the next day. And we're going to do the same thing. So see here, he's still worried. Like I went to go touch his forelock and he lifts his head. It's not quite as dramatic as the day before, but it's still there. So I'm just going to wait. And there he goes ahead and touches my hand. So I'm going to click and feed. And I'm kind of doing this in a quick way, like not necessarily with my hand, but like I'll let him target there. I'm gonna touch him or click him, and then so he's constantly being rewarded. So I let him chew for a little bit, and then I go ahead and ask him to target again. So it's just a high rate of reinforcement is what I'm trying to do here. So he just dropped his hay on the ground. So I'm just going to let him have a little break here. I'm just going to see if I can reach out to touch him just to bring that head back up. So I'm not just going and touching him. I'm just saying, hey, I'm still here. Can you interact? And he came back. So that was good. And Atlas tends to be a little bit jumpy, as you can see, but we're just taking our time. Good. And in this session, I'm kind of coming to him a little bit more than in the previous one. The previous one, I just kind of kept my hand still, and then he came up, but I'm kind of meeting him a little bit in the middle. So I'm kind of he's coming toward me and I'm going toward him. So he's not quite to the point where I'm just going to put my hand on him without him initiating it. But see, there we go. So he brought his head, and then I kind of closed the gap with my hand. So I don't want to go in there and just touch him yet. I want him to gain a bit more confidence. I really want that head raise to go away completely. And I back off a little bit, and he came toward my hand. I want that head raise to go away completely before I go ahead and just touch him without him worrying. So, because that head raise is telling me, like, I'm not so sure about that. I'm like, okay, I see you. And then I'll just wait, and he'll touch me. So if there's no head raise, then I can go ahead and touch him. So I'm just kind of reading the signs there. Very good. That was better. He had much less of a head raise there. He's staying fairly relaxed, like he's going back into like a neutral. That was much better as well. You can tell definitely from this video that his head raise decreases as the video goes on. So that's pretty cool. Sometimes with the training you can't see it as much, but in this video you can really tell, just in that one session he was a lot more relaxed about that. But I think just giving him the opportunity, that was good too. He had a little head raise, but he came right over. Giving him the opportunity to think through it, be like, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to just touch you. Like, I think that the horses really like that, and I'm not quite as much of a predator. I'm letting him think through it. I'm not going to force me to touch him. So that was pretty good. So definitely some progress from the previous lesson. So I'm just going to pet on him on his neck, and we'll end the session.